Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Yeah, I'm sharing it right now, actually. Um, if you are on, if you could share the live, we're about to have a conversation with Miss Lisa Ranglin. So give us a minute to just share it ourselves, and then we'll be right with y'all. Let me see where I'm at. As you could tell, I've been running around like crazy, so that's why I'm out of breath. So don't worry about it. We'll be all right. Running around like crazy, so that's why I'm out of breath. Um, so this is Let's Talk, the show where basically I'm just introducing as many people as I can and as many black professionals as I can to the community that might not know of these professionals. And today I have Miss Lisa Ranglin. We're going to get into who she is and what she does for the community and what she does otherwise. And we're just going to talk and have a good conversation. But we're also going to give you the opportunity to call as soon as I get the iPad over here. We're going to have the opportunity for y'all to call us and ask some questions if you'd like to ask some questions. That's what I like the most about Let's Talk. I want to make sure that people are given the opportunity to talk to us. You could turn that down a little bit in here, just in here, which is the speakers. Um, so, Miss Lisa Wrangler, let's start it off.
Did you share?
I definitely did. It's on my page. You didn't get it? Let me see if I can find you. Messenger. I just sent it to your Facebook.
Got it. Thank you.
All right. Once again, for you to call, it's 400 5002. That's 41400 5002 if you want to call in and you want to ask some questions. Big shout out to Rodney Newton. I'm definitely gonna have Rodney Newton on the show coming up soon. To me, he's the man. He's out there really in the forefront, and if you don't know him, he has the "I Can't Breathe" tattoo on his chest, and he just recently got that. So I definitely got to have Rodney Newton on. Jeremy, what's up? Um, were you able to find it?
They did.
Okay. Oh,
On.
just to let y'all know, we are social distancing. We're, we're about 10 feet apart. It was like she wanted to make sure if she came to the studio, because she definitely wanted to do Zoom. She didn't want to get anybody sick at her household, so she wanted to make sure we could social distance. So that's why you see me close with other people, but far apart from Miss Lisa Wrangling, because she did not want to be she didn't want to disobey the social distancing rules, so here it
Yeah,
is.
and I should had. I think it's a little bit more than that. So yeah, I wanted to follow the rule, but I do have my mom who's 91, and I want to make sure that she's safe and protected. So again,
A
it's more for me.
round of applause for her making it to 91. That's
Yeah.
dope.
Shout out to Mrs. Mavis Wranglin. Love you, Mama.
All right, all right. So let's start with what you do for the state of Rhode Island. What do you do for the community in the state of Rhode Island for work, basically, or now let's start with the boards that you're on. I like that better. Let's start with the boards that you're on because
So, thank you all so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here to talk with you today, and I'm so glad that I have the opportunity. So, my name is Lisa Ranglin, and I currently serve as founder and president for the Rhode Island Black Business Association. Um, REBA, we go by REBA. So that organization, basically, we're the Black Business Association, and we focused on supporting Black businesses. Our goal is to ensure that the 3,164 Black-owned businesses that are here in the state, we want to ensure that they're thriving. They have access to resources and opportunities so they can create needed jobs to put folks to work.
Not to interrupt you, but that sounds like a low number. 3,000. You said 3,100.
And 64, and unfortunately, we have COVID-19. A lot of those companies may not come back post-COVID. So we're watching and we're working very hard to ensure that all of the businesses prior to COVID actually survive. But again, you never know, right? It's hard.
Yeah.
Businesses were closed, and now the governor is asking, guys, you need to come back. But certainly, from an organization perspective, we're working really hard to ensure that they do come back.
Can
But it's tough out there with COVID. People are social distancing. Business can't open as they did prior to COVID. They can only have a few people in their stores. Look at your barbershop, your hair salons. So it's hard.
Yeah.
Very hard.
With the COVID money that the government has given the state of Rhode Island, is that something that they offered to the Black Business Association for these black businesses that might actually be suffering from?
Good question. So again, funds came into the state. The bulk of that money from a loan perspective was managed by financial institution. And I typically, let me just do full disclosure, I don't typically talk about loans
Yes.
and anything to deal with banks. I do work for a large bank. However, I'm not the spokesperson for a bank, so I typically avoid conversation. That's not my lane, so I typically not speak on loans and that kind of thing.
So
However,
can I rephrase the question for
Yeah.
you? I'll rephrase the question and say, how supportive was the state of Rhode Island to the Black Business Association? And
Yeah, so that's a different question. So I can address that. So historically, right? Let's be real. So Black businesses and Black organization, Black companies were underfunded.
yes,
Every level. So that's just, let's keep it real, right?
yeah,
So have they given us some money? We've gotten a very small pool of money from the state, from Commerce to support outreach activity, to support companies to apply for loans, companies to get back. It was a very small amount of money, $35,000, as you know. $35,000 can't go very far.
no, not at
Right?
all.
It's not a lot of money, so we are grateful for that money. We did share with Commerce RI that, again, we're grateful for that, but it's not enough. We have asked for robust investment in Black and Brown communities, specifically Black community. My focus from an organization perspective is to ensure that Black business is actually coming back. And we're looking for robust investment. Again, we want to ensure that these companies are thriving, they are growing, creating jobs, and then growing wealth, right? It's a wealth creation effort that we're under. And, one of the things that's really sad when I look at the data, the Black community broadly across the nation, right? We spend about $1.5 trillion.
Yes.
And, what's really disturbing is that our money that we're spending, it stays in our community just 6 hours. Only 6 hours.
It doesn't flip.
It circulates in our community just 6 hours. So think about that, right? So if you're thinking about supporting Black companies, you're probably saying, well, I can't find them. They're not at scale. They don't have all the things that I want. Maybe I want to get something for my hair or the kind of food that I want to eat. Maybe I just can't find them.
Okay.
So we do have a shortage of businesses that are at scale to be able to do your one-stop shop, right? So when you think of an Asian community,
Yep.
the money stays in their community 30 days, right?
Yep.
Because the things that they are buying, they can find it within their communities. Within our community, the Black community, we are working very hard from an organization perspective to scale companies up and to ensure that we have companies that require, all types of businesses, right? We know that we have a a small population right now, 3,164. The bulk of those are very small companies with
Yeah.
less than 4 employees. Sometimes they're just one person that runs it,
Yeah.
right? So it may not have everything that a person is looking for. So we don't have the robust supermarket, all of the different things that you would expect to see so that money can circulate. Our community does not have it. But the good thing is, Reba is working really tirelessly. The team, they're doing a fantastic job. And they're really working to help company think about diversification. So what do I mean by that? To really scale and move into areas where we don't have any business today,
Yeah.
so we can have that wraparound service where that money can in fact stays within the black community versus only 6 hours. We want to get it up to 30, at least 30 days, right? Like the Asian community or the Latina community, their money stays in their community for 17 days. And if you go look at the Jewish folks, their money is staying in 20 days.
Yeah.
And the black community, 6 hours.
So
That's crazy, right?
how do we? Well, I have a couple of questions for you. First, how do we? Well, what are some programs you might have for the young entrepreneur that's trying to start a small business? Is there a program for that? A young black entrepreneur that's trying to start a small business they may not understand how and the things they need to do. Is there a program for that?
So, I mean, I'll say they're one-stop shop. Call the Rhode Island Black Business Association. So again, we look at ourselves as a conduit, right, or a bridge, if you will. So if somebody calls the office and it's something that they're looking for that we're not able to do, the organization is not able to do, keep in mind, REBA has only been around going on 10 years. So we're a
Okay.
very small grassroots organization. I am the founding president. We've been underfunded. So we have a lot of strategic activities that we want to do that will certainly impact the broad community here in Rhode Island. What we're not seeing and we're not getting is robust investment. And we're not receiving a lot of funding or broad-based support across the state, right? So, put it out there. All folks that are black, black community, you should be supporting Rhode Island Black Business Association. The work that the organization is doing is to ensure that we have strong black businesses in Rhode Island, so our money that we're spending can circulate more in our state and in our community. We know that when black businesses are doing well, they hire directly within their community. So black business, are going to hire black business, are going to hire black people, right?
Yep.
So if you can buy from black folks, it makes sense, but you got to have the establishment to be able to support them, right? So support your local association. REBA is working hard to ensure that we help these businesses that are here today continue to advance and grow and get bigger and better. And then for the young people that are coming on board that wants to start businesses, because let's be real, some of the young people come out of college or out of high school. Not everybody wants to go off to college. They can't find a job.
Yeah.
And what we want to say, we want to support young people regardless of what they want to do. We
I have
know
a-
some of them may go into the military, some may go off to college, and some may want to become business owners. And
I have a
REBA
question.
is there to support them as well.
I have a question in the chat that I always like to make sure that I pay attention to the people that are watching and answer their questions. How many new black businesses did Reba help to date versus Latin?
Say the question again.
How many black businesses did Reba help to date versus the
Oh,
Latin?
again, on an average, we support over 200 businesses annually.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very small, non-black businesses that we support. The bulk of our clients are black.
Okay. So when it comes to the young entrepreneur, all they have to do is probably give the office a call, and if Reba does not support the program that they need, you guys will help them find the program that they're looking for.
Yeah, through our partner relationship, right? So they can call the office 401-383-1179. I'm a volunteer with the organization, so I'm not there during the day. I do have a day.
Can you give that number one more time so we can put it up?
Sure, it's 401-383-1179.
Okay.
Or they can go on the organization website, www.ri-bba.org. Again, www.ri-bba.org. or they could just do Rhode Island Black Business Association, or REBA, and it will come up in Google's. But again, we have a partnership, we have a network of people that we partner with. So if REBA is not able to provide the service, again, we are a small organization looking to scale. We have some incredible people on board right now, volunteers, rich folks, all kinds of people, regular people, anybody that wants to help. They're coming, they're helping us right now, and we're looking to scale up. So again, with this movement right now that's underway, unfortunately, the young man George Floyd died, and that's so unfortunate. But there's a lot of people who are calling and say, how can we help? What can we do?
Yeah.
So we are getting a lot of great support from the community. We're appreciative of that. Keep those calls and emails coming, and we have lots of opportunities for you to get involved.
How can somebody who's watching right now or may watch the replay of this get involved in helping y'all scale this to a bigger platform or scale it to a bigger thing?
Yeah, I mean, if they go on the website, I mean, we are looking for talent. Everybody, all of us have talent, right? We're skilled, we're talented, we're amazing, we're good at what we do. Black people, we are so rich in talent, right? So if you go on the website and you don't see something that's on there that you said, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, you can call us. You can call me directly, and you can define what it is that you want to do, right? We make it so easy, right?
Yeah.
We have a series of activities that people can sign up for, whether it's helping with businesses, be an advisor, a mentor, or they can do, member recruitment. They could help with events. They could coach. They could do whatever. But the good thing is we allow people to design what they want to do, because we want people to leverage their capability and skill, and we want them to leverage their passion. Sorry if you can't hear me. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me, guys? That's better?
Check that one more time, please. Can you check that one?
1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
All right, there it is.
Sorry, I'll come closer.
All right, I have another question in the chat. What is REBA doing about the value of people's properties? I don't know what. This is just a question in the chat.
The
so.
value of people's property. I'm not sure I understand the question.
Expand on that question, please. Like,
yeah,
give
REBA
us
is
some.
a business association, right? So our primary focus is to work with business owners. If the question is around, I don't understand the question.
Yeah, we'll skip that question because
Yeah.
I think
Come back with a little bit more. Again, there's tons of organization out there, and we try to stay in our
sound great
lane.
right now. Okay. Is there a way that you can point a young entrepreneur that might have a great idea to a venture capitalist firm? Is there something like that? Like, is there a way you can point them in that type of direction? Is that something that you guys do?
Oh, yeah. So we have an amazing partnership, and there's lots of exciting things that will be announced pretty soon. So we are always looking for talent. Again, we do have an annual pitch with young people.
I like
Anywhere
that.
from 18 to 30. And
Have you done that
basically-
already?
Yes. Well, the new it's coming up this year. We had one last year where 3 young adults under 30 were awarded $3,000 each.
Wow.
And they pitched their idea. They came in and they basically pitched their idea. One of them had, I think it was some alcohol. I don't drink alcohol, but anyway, this was I heard it was wonderful. It's a young man, a Latino young man. And then we also had 3 or 4 blacks. So we have one young man who does lead mitigation. He's amazing, black. What was really sad is dad got sick, and he became sort of the caretaker for the family.
Yeah.
And he was helping his sibling, and we, helped him with not just the $3,000 loan, but we helped him to take his business and scale it up. When he came to us, he had 0 contract. When he left, he got the $3,000, plus he got like 3 additional contracts.
Wow.
And his company is scaled. And then we had This other young man, he's into music, and we helped him to identify folks in New York to scale and to do that kind of stuff. So there will be a competition coming up. You can stay tuned, check out the website periodically, and you will hear, again, we have funding that we will be giving out again this year to 3 lucky young adults under 30. It's a pitch your idea. It's sort of like Shark Tank,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I like it. I want to be a shark.
So you come to this event, we send it out, you come, you show up, you pitch your great idea, and what we do, we're shopping it, right? So if it's something that we are not able to fund, or it's an idea that we only had 3 winners, we'll shop it with other people. The other exciting things that we're doing, and I can't disclose the detail yet, but we'll certainly come back another time and share. We're identifying people in our community, and what we're doing, we're going to think of startup companies that you hear of all the time.
Okay.
You may hear them coming out of MIT or Brown.
Yep.
And they could be young people that are doing something in the tech industry, right?
Yep.
And what they have an amazing product. Think of Facebook. Facebook started just like that. It was a startup, right? And it had amazing investors. So Reba and a couple other black folks here in Rhode Island, we're pulling together, put our monies together, and then we're going to fund startups.
Okay.
And we're going to make that pool available to anybody that wants to invest into this pool. It could be just $500. It could be $2,500. So more to come on that. But we're looking at all kinds of ways to really create wealth within our community. The biggest thing that we want to do is to be self-sufficient, right? We want to make sure that our community is thriving and that we have wealth. It's all about wealth creation. What we want our businesses to do is to be able to pass on wealth to the next generation.
I have a question about if you know of any black farmers in Rhode Island.
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Share.
I know there's several. I've actually myself, I just started a small farm, and in my backyard. I'm doing kalaloo. I'm Jamaican.
Okay.
You all probably you probably don't know what that kalaloo is.
I do know what kalaloo is. It's
It's
almost
all green. It's like collard green.
Okay.
But it's a Jamaican dish, and I'm planting my things in my backyard. But I have to be honest. There's several women that I've seen. Georgina, there's a young lady that I know, she's in the farming industry, and she's done a lot of stuff. There's another young lady, Q. I don't remember her last name right now. But I have to let's be focused, right, guys? I am not here to talk about. I want to focus on the black business community. I think there's, Julius out there is doing incredible work with farmers.
Julia C. Wright.
Julius Calawella, I think his last name is, on the south side of Providence.
Okay.
And they're basically tapping into this market. This is not my lane.
Yeah,
I don't speak about things that I don't have background in, or I'm not the expert on. There's tons of people out there that speak about that, right? I can tell you that as a woman that was born and raised in Jamaica, my dad was a farmer.
Yep.
I grew up on a farm, so I know what it is about farm. My mom, when my dad died, started selling fruits to provide for 9 children.
Oh, wow.
So, again, I came from poverty, so I know all of this. My dad, he did not know how to read or write, and he was a farmer.
Okay.
Right? So, farming is dear to my heart because I'm trying to go veggie right now, and I know there's a lot of young people that are out there and young women and men that are looking to move into this arena because it's powerful. It's very important. So I don't know them off the top of my head because that's not my lane, but I support them. And I know there's a lot of great movement on that front, and I think people should get into that.
And the reason why I did ask is because there is the movement of eating healthy, and I just think there's a lot of people that would like to support a black farmer in Rhode Island, whereas they it's not out there as much as you would expect it to be. Like someone saying, "Oh, we're a all black farm, and we do this, and this."
I can tell you that we do. There's young man Arnold Millhouse just launched an amazing website, and I did see a couple of farms owners on there. It's called BlackLivesBiz.com. I think we all should check it out.
Okay.
Share it with your team. You can go and look at all the Black-owned businesses in Rhode Island that were actually, identified via this amazing tool. He's working with an amazing young lady. He was at John Hope Settlement House the other day, debuting that. Again, it's Black Live Biz. And I think we're asking everybody that own anything black business, black farms, black whatever, to put it on this central hub and share it, right? I think we need to share it, and I want to be clear, right? So I think it's very important when we think about what we're good at. So I think our community have lots of great asset and
Yes.
amazing people. And for me as a professional, I am known as my background is in technology. I've been in the banking world for the last 21 years. I typically I don't want to speak on every topic because I'm not the expert on it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I think it's important for us to ensure that when we're giving out information, that we're giving out relevant and accurate information, and that we don't try to speak for everything, right? And my focus is on developing black and brown businesses because, again, I know that black families and brown families, they're at the bottom today. I'm a black woman and I'm a champion for blacks. I'm a champion for black family, black everything. But at the same time, the way that I was raised is that, we lift together, we climb together.
Okay.
My core value is very important to me. And, my dad, God rest his soul, but my dad would bring stranger home. So before I knew what a shelter was, my home, a
Was
two-bedroom
the
house
shelter.
was a shelter. Before we knew what, giving out food was for me, a formal thing, we did that. We had people sleeping on our floor. There were my mom, my dad, and 9 kids in 2 rooms. And yet we brought in people into our home to care for them.
Wow.
My dad would bring strangers home. So
Are you originally from Rhode Island? Oh, no,
no,
I know you're
was,
from.
I was born and raised in Jamaica.
Okay.
I got here as a teenager. So my core value is from an island upbringing, right? Certainly, I think, when I think about how do we care for the less than, right? How do we ensure that we're meeting people where they're at? For me, is identifying where there's a need and jumping in to fix it. So for me, it's let's get it done, right? But I know that I'm smart enough to identify people out there that are good at doing what they do best and focus on that and do the connection.
Yeah.
I try not to do everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have another question
Sure.
on here. Well, actually, it's Jeremy who's asking another question about. Expounding on his last question. The question of the value comes in because we need companies like Reba fighting for the beautification around black owned businesses, so the value of property appreciate at the same rate that the white businesses appreciate.
Oh yeah, got it. Thank you for that question.
Just to finish his point, need you to petition for large corporations to set up infrastructure in our communities. Is anyone lobbying for those type of infrastructures in our black-owned communities in Providence?
So I don't know what everybody's doing. I can tell you that REBA, the Rhode Island Black Business Association, we have a series of prioritization, right? The biggest, think of a stool. If you have 3-legged stool and you only have 2 or 1, it can't stand up, right? So what we're doing as an organization is to build our infrastructure and build our communities. When we have strong black businesses in our communities, those businesses will be able to provide for our community, right? I do believe that we, the black community, need to step up and support ourselves, right? Yes, we want to get a little help, but I'm not in this to. I think we have the power.
Mm-hmm.
We have the capabilities to pool all of our resources. There's a lot of things that we're doing that's it's fragmented, right? And if we're able to pull everything together, I think there's amazing, the things that we could do if we just come together, right?
Yeah.
If
No,
we
you're
come
right.
together and think strategically, how can we pool everything together and do more than if one person is trying to do it over here or one person over there, right? But if we came together, think of how the Asian people, how they got rich, right?
Yeah.
They have their money and they may all live together. We did that back in Jamaica, right? So we didn't go to the bank, but we went to family members that saved that money, right? And that money stayed within that community, right? Versus here, This one is over there doing that. That one is doing that. That one is doing that. So
I think it starts with what you originally
it starts
said.
with us, right?
What you originally said was that with the money being in our community for 6 minutes,
6 hours.
6 6 hours, that 6 hours we're going to, let's say it is a female that does want to get her hair and her nails done. She might go to a black hairdresser, but not get the products from that black hairdresser to maintain her hair. And then if she wants to get her nails done, she's going to the Asian community.
Yep.
So I think originally what you had said, and just to make sure that I'm taking it in correctly, is that we have to have those businesses be full on everything. Like they should be able to get their hair, nails done, and the products in
One-stop shop.
that one black business.
Yeah.
So how do we support that?
I could tell you that. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm also a licensed cosmetologist.
I'm gonna figure out what you don't do by the end of this.
So I owned a hair salon on Maitland Avenue, and you're right. I usually get Dudley's black products. So they would come up from Boston and bring me my products, right? And we wanted to do business with just black for hair, right?
Yeah.
Again, we need all the stuff that, the supplies. So what happened when that company stopped bringing the Dudley's product into Rhode Island and they were only doing it in Mass? It's very hard for Rhode Islanders, to drive into Mass to go get the products when they stopped shipping it, right? So then we had to go to Two Brothers. Then we start going to Sally's, right?
Two Brothers, which is Asian, Sally's, which is white.
Right. And again, or we went to Sandra's down Broad Street. We had Miss Sandra's, her beauty shop, and then we had another young man on Potter's Avenue. I can't think of his name right now, but they didn't always have all the things that you needed.
Yeah.
So you kind of jumped around. So I can tell you that one of the things that happened in our community, we don't have a lot of wealth. Let's be real, right?
Yeah,
we don't have a lot of wealth. So we're always looking for discount, right? I always tell people when they come in my shop, when I had my hair salon, sorry, I'm not trying to be, give you any discount, right? You need to pay for my service. If you want me to do a full head of weave, you need to pay for it.
Yeah.
And don't come up in my shop with your hair already washed. Because if you come in my shop and your hair is already washed, you're taking away from the money that I should have made because I'm no longer able to charge you for the full service. So you need to come up into the salon to get your hair done, to get all the service done. That's how you're supporting black businesses, right?
Okay.
Don't say I already did my relaxer, so I don't want you to charge me $40 because I already touched it up myself.
Yeah.
Then you're take money out of my pockets, right?
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that we show up to these places, our barbershop, or salon, or grocery store, and don't ask for a discount because they're black. Don't just say, I want you to discount this, right? Pay for the value of the product and know you're going to get quality product.
There's a saying that I've been hearing lately that I go through a lot of documentaries, and there's a saying in those documentaries about going over to another community's business and not really taking care of your own and being and doing everything in a black business, which is white ice is colder. Do you know about that saying? No. White ice is colder. Basically, they're saying that ice is cold anyway, but if you're going over, in the black community, they feel like the white ice is colder. It's colder over there, even though the ice is cold everywhere.
Well, I think it's that mindset thing, right? So we got to change the mindset, right? So black is beautiful. Black is great. We're talented. I mean, I can tell you black women, I just finished up my master's degree, and my thesis I focused on women, but particular black women. I can tell you that black women, we're talented, we're smart, we're beautiful, and we're more confident than any other group out there. That's a fact.
Okay.
Right? And black women, in most cases, were not given the opportunity to show up and deliver. So that's why you see a lot of black women, we're either starting our own business, creating our own organization, or taking it by force, right? We're doing what we need to do because we need to be in charge. I can tell you that black women graduate at a higher rate than any other, right? But we're not seen as leaders, right? And we need to change that. So we need to stop, as the black community, stop saying, and I don't think black folks are doing that, but there's people out there that says, anything black, and I think the narrative is being changed, right? People are only excited about Black Friday,
Okay.
right? But they say, if your books is in black, then you're great. But everything black can't be good, and that's what people have said historically. Thank God for Black Lives Matter. Now it's changing.
Yes.
But the black community, we already knew. I mean, we already know that we're amazing, right? We're good at everything that we look at the NFL, right? Look at the basketball players,
Yeah.
right? And look at scientists. I mean, you can see the history, right? There's an amazing things that we as black people do. And look at slavery, right? Who did they brought? They brought black folks here on cotton fields, right? Because they knew that we were talented.
Workers, yeah,
And
hard
we're great
workers.
hard workers, right? So, I don't want anybody to tell me that black can't be anything. We could be whatever. I could tell you with my daughter, I mean, I put her in every and anything, any sports, everything. I gave her the opportunity. And what black families, want is, access to opportunities. That simple. We're not looking for handouts. We're not looking for anything unique or different than anybody else. We want to live in a safe neighborhood to raise our family. We want a good paying job, and we want access to a level playing field. It's that simple. High quality education for our kids, get rid of gun violence, right? And pay everybody a living wage.
Um, let's put Reba aside for a second, and let's talk about your education. I wanna know about your education. Like, what are some of the accolades that you have?
So I typically don't like to talk about myself.
Oh, well, I want to see. Here's the thing, and I want to explain to you why I want to know. Before you answer, I want to explain to you why I want to know. There are people out there that do not know who Lisa Ranglin is, who don't know the things that you've done or the fights that you fought, and that's what this is about. This is about just knowing who you are and what you've done and where you plan on helping the community. And if you don't know who the person is, after this conversation, I want them to be like, I know her. Like, I feel her. And here's the other thing. There's going to be some kids watching this, and there might be a young woman watching this that says, those are the footsteps I want to follow.
Sure. So excellent question. I typically don't like to talk about myself, but I'll take a shot at it. So I am the baby out of 9, and I was a little rebel.
Okay.
I never finished high school. I was, I kind of wanted to do what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Most girls, you get to teenage year and you start kind of acting up and not following the rules. And I was one of those girls. But I think at some point, I knew that, of course, all my siblings, I had to go to college, right? College was always an option.
Okay.
And I knew that I had to do that. I always wanted to do what I wanted to do. Dad died, and then it was just Mom. And, of course, Mom and I came from Jamaica here, and I kind of just wanted to do what I wanted to do. So anyway, I got a job in a factory in Providence, a jewel case factory, and
My grandmother worked there.
She did?
Yeah, my grandmother, that was my grandmother's job. She worked at the jewel case.
Yeah, so I worked there.
Wow.
I worked there for a while,
And my aunts are on right now, so they could definitely. My aunt Lisa and my aunt Milu.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Is Mila your aunt?
That's my aunt. My mother's the oldest. Maria.
Oh, your grandmother
My
was my best friend at work.
Oh, see?
I came to
That's my grandmother.
Mila's shower for
Look
her
at that.
first baby. Yeah.
Look at this Rhode Island stuff right here. But go ahead.
So anyway, I did work with Frances would talk. I was a pain in the butt. I would give her and Jean Costa a hard time because I was a very spoiled brat. But anyway, I worked with them for years, and I serve as a lead girl. So I basically provide them. I got the orders from the office, and Lionel, our boss, made me the lead girl. So I was sort of in charge. So I had a big title already as a teenage girl. And I would get all the supply, write up all the orders, and do all of that in the factory. And I worked there for a very long time. But at the same time, while I was working there, I put myself through a night school.
Wow.
So I went to New England Tech and for computer science, and I graduated with a bachelor's degree in computer programming.
I want to stop you for a second. So you
I got
didn't
my
graduate.
GED. I got my GED.
All right. So no, but you didn't graduate initially.
No,
You
not
didn't.
from high school.
You didn't graduate from high school. You didn't walk the stage. You didn't get a diploma.
Nope, I got a GED.
You got a GED.
Yep.
This story is amazing. Keep going.
Yep, I got a GED that it's well, it's in a nice little frame on my desk. I still have it. It's out, but I put myself through night school, and it was an amazing. A lot of people that was worked at Jewel Case, they said she's never going to finish college. So at lunchtime I would study. Every chance I got when wasn't working, supplying the supply for the boxes to be made, I would off somewhere reading my books and study and whatnot. And people would say, yeah, here she goes again. She's walking around with her books. She's never going to graduate. She's never leaving here, that kind of thing. Well, happy to say I did finish 4 years later and got my bachelor's degree. And shortly thereafter, I actually applied for a job. I saw it in the Journal. That was back then when they had jobs posted in the Journal.
Yep.
And I got hired by a white woman hired me. Gail Gifford hired me at Save the Bay, and I believe I was the first Black person ever worked at Save the Bay.
Wow.
I did their data entry stuff and their tech-related stuff, fixing computers, that kind of stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So all right, keep going. There's more.
So that's that.
There's
and then
more.
I left there, and I left Save the Bay, and of course I wanted more money, so I saw this job at Lockwood Plaza, and they were looking for a person to work in their computer lab. So in Lockwood Plaza on the south side, they had a room where they set up all the computers. So I was the teacher for the student at Lockwood, or the resident of Lockwood Plaza. And I was Miss Lisa, and the kids would come and I would do homework with them, or the adults would come and help with resume and whatnot.
I think we need to bring that back. No,
Yeah,
I
that
really
was
think we need to bring back in certain
Computer Learning
communities.
Center. So
Yes.
it was the Computer Learning Center at Lockwood, and that was great. I had an amazing time there. I worked with the kids. They would come in and do their homework with me. We had volunteers there. And then some of the they would come in and get their resume done or learn how to use Microsoft Word, Excel. So I taught computers as well.
That's dope.
And after Lockwood, of course, I applied again. I'm always looking to grow. So I applied for a job at the Urban League, and I became the associate director for the education and training department at the Urban League, where I led the GED program, the secretarial training program at the time,
Okay.
all their computer-related stuff and GED programs. So I was the overall associate director for that program, and that was great. I worked with people that I knew. People that I knew from the community. I helped women at the time. They had the Welfare to Work initiative.
Okay.
So I was working with women that were on welfare, moving from welfare to work.
Okay.
Through the GIPTER program with the City of Providence. So yeah, I have done it all. And then after I got
we're still going.
And
But
then
this is Black Girl Magic, by the way.
And then after I left the Urban League, I was just tired of the Urban League, and it was a great job, but I wanted more money.
Okay.
And of course, by then I have my bachelor's degree in computer science, right? So I got to go put it to use. So I applied for a job with a consultant firm at the time. I don't remember their name right now, but on the south side, I think it was not Main Street. So it was a consultant firm. So I got hired by them, and they placed me at Fleet Bank at the time, back in '99. And 18 months later, so I worked as a consultant. So I was there doing programming stuff at Fleet Bank as a consultant. And then 18 years later, Fleet Bank hired me in 2001. And I started my banking career in 1999. So
Wow.
21 years later, I'm still in banking.
Yeah.
And I worked my way up from being at a programming desk or testing to up into management. Now I've spent close to 18 years at B of A, and now I'm at Citizens Bank, where I'm one of their leaders there, up in management, managing regulatory compliance stuff. I mean, it's just been an amazing ride.
What's
I've gone from the factory to corporate America, and it's just amazing.
what is your motivation?
I am hungry for success. So, many years ago, before I had my daughter, I started grad school to work on my MBA, and life happened, right? Got
Yeah.
married, had a baby, and I put it on hold for a very, very long time. And I started it, and then I stopped. But all through this, I was always hungry for success.
Yeah.
So I had my sibling and my sisters to look at, and they were doing amazingly well. And for me, failure was never an option. It was just a matter of time. When am I going to do it? So eventually, I had like 3 different start and stop with my master's degree, my MBA at
Yep.
Johnson & Wales. And then finally, 2 years ago, my daughter finished her master's degree. You remember I told you how long ago I
Yep.
started this,
Yep.
right? I saw my daughter walk the stage at URI, got her master's degree, and she said, "Mommy, you could do it. You could finish your master's degree." So I did go back, and this past April, I finished my master's degree.
Congratulations.
And thank you. So it's been a journey. I said it's been this start-stop journey, right? But it's been so rewarding. And I have to say, it was a community effort because I got so many people that prayed for me, called me, encouraged me. I was feeling like I'm going to quit. I'm not finishing this thing. Why do I need a master's degree? And, my sisters, friends from the community, shout out to Melissa and all the people that prayed with me and just kept me encouraged. So it's been rewarding. And I think, my story is not unique, right? There's a lot of people that didn't finish high school, but they made it, right? So I'm one of them. I didn't finish high school. I got my GED, and then I owned it and just did what I needed to do with the support of Amazing
I disagree,
Village.
though. I disagree. Your story is very unique. And knowing that I know what the jewel case is, coming
Yeah.
from the jewel case to having a master's degree is amazing.
Thank
That's amazing stuff. And that's why I'm bringing these different people from our community that you might not know that have struggled
Yeah.
and came out of the struggle to be the person that they are now, and it's something that y'all need to know. So this is why we have Lisa Wrangling on the show today, and I had to reach out. I reached out to you, and I wanted to make sure that I had you on the show because I heard that you had a good story, and I just wanted to bring it on. I didn't know all of it, but now I do.
That's just abbreviated, right? So yeah, but I was born and raised in poverty. My dad didn't know how to read or write. My mom.
I want to ask you a question about that. Jamaica versus the U.S.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the opportunities are here? There's a lot more opportunities to become what you want to become versus if you stayed in Jamaica?
So it's funny, when you're back in an island, typically they'll say, "What are you gonna do? A teenage girl, you're gonna get pregnant, right?"
Yeah.
And it's the same thing when you get here. It's the same kind of
Yeah, yeah.
conversation, right? You're still having, stay away from the boys. They be over here, they're over there, right? The same kind of conversation. I think. There's a lot more opportunities here in the state, and that's why people travel, right? I didn't have a choice. I came here as a teenage girl, but I can tell you that the island, Jamaica, is amazing. I wish the island, if we had all the resources that we had here, I would never have left. Obviously, my mom brought me, but
Yeah.
again, I didn't have a choice. But I think people, and I know my siblings, my older sibling, they'll say, if we had all the resources that we have here in Jamaica, most people would not leave,
Okay.
right? So the healthcare system is not that great. It's hard to find jobs, and there's the high crime, all that stuff. I mean, we have all of those disparities here as well. But I think, coming to the U.S., you have a lot more opportunities. I can tell you when I was a girl in Jamaica and I came here for the first time, I was like, this was not what I thought it would be, for sure. I thought it would be a lot better than what I saw, the disparity, the poverty, homelessness, people are struggling. I actually thought it would be different. And by the
A
way,
listener said
I didn't
that
know you were Mila's nephew.
Nephew, yeah.
I had no idea. She's my dear friend.
So someone said, right, the sister is dope. So someone just said you're dope, which is cool.
Thank you.
All right, so I kind of want to ask you some questions about what's going on right now with our community and how do we. I don't want to ask you the same question over and over, but I kind of have to. How do we make a change in our community?
I think we're doing it right now.
You think it's happening?
It's happening right now. I think right now we have to seize the moment, right?
Yep.
So I think we are coming together. Keep in mind, we've been brainwashed for a very long time, right?
Glad you said it. Go ahead.
And that's real. Let's keep it real. We've been brainwashed, and we keep in mind it took us a while to even realize that folks, they were free, right? Slaves were free, right?
Yep. Yep.
So that same mentality with I'm better than that one or whatever, right? We still have that in our community, but I feel like there's a shift for the better. I feel like people are coming out and they're making an effort to support each other. I always say, if you don't want something for you, don't wish it on somebody else.
Okay.
Right? And I think we as Black people, all of us, we're in this together, and we're going to either fail together or we're going to succeed together. It's not like them and us. The struggle that I have, again, I'm Jamaican, right? Straight up. From an island, right? There's a lot of African American that think that I have, she's Jamaican, she's not one of us. I can tell you when white people see me, I am one of us, right?
Yeah, for real.
So let's get it together, right? It doesn't matter if I was born in an island, born in Africa, born wherever. My skin is Black, so I am one of us. And I think we need to check that because sometimes we get caught up with where somebody is from.
Yeah.
I'm a Black woman. We're feeling the same struggle. I wrote an article not the other day, a few years ago in the Journal, and I posted it recently on LinkedIn about me being an educated Black woman with years of experience passed over for a job that they want me to turn around and train the guy that they gave the job to.
Oh, man.
Like, seriously. Like, you didn't give me the job, but then you're asking me
to train somebody.
And then another story where this guy got this job where he's leading this, and then he's coming to me to work with him, to help him to do, and I'm like, get this together. We're like, why didn't you give me the job, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're in this together, and I think we need to just pool our resources together. And again, it's all about love. For me, it's one love, right? We're in this together. We're at the bottom, and we're going to get out of this where we're at together, and we're going to come out stronger. I can tell you that. I got to be honest. People are asking, how can they help? White people, they don't know what to do. They want to help.
Yeah.
And I think Black folks right now, we got to seize the moment, right? We got to seize the moment, and we got to jump off, start businesses, work on your credit. The other thing that we do at Reba is we help people with their credit. If you got some issues with your credit, come on. We all know that we got late bills. Sometimes we don't even remember. Sometimes we don't have the money to pay our bills, and we got some issues with our credit.
Okay.
Reba will help you fix that, right? We want to meet people where they're at. Whatever is happening, there's people out there that is willing to help you fix it. You need a resume done? Call me. You need a hardship letter done? Call me. Call the organization. We are going to help you. If we can't help you, we will find somebody to help you. I've invited people into my home to help them with their credit. Not like I have to, but because I want to.
Yeah.
Because that was, it's in my DNA. Service is in my DNA. My dad he built a church and a school in my yard back in Jamaica. So service to people, to family is in my DNA. I can't even help it if I wanted to.
Wow. That's amazing. And I think we definitely need that, especially with the financial disparities in our community.
Yeah.
Like, we definitely need to learn financial responsibility.
Yeah. We're kicking
my-
off a financial literacy coming up pretty soon at Reba. And that is really to help people to, one, we know that if your credit is bad, it impacts your insurance for your car, your house, or anything that you're going for. A car note, if you're going to buy a car or lease a car, everything is higher when your credit is bad, right?
Yeah.
But we can help you fix it. But you got to be ready, and you got to be willing to do the work. Reba is going to be launching a financial literacy program to help people that want to improve their credit, either to find a better job, to get a better insurance, car insurance, life insurance, or to buy a home, right? We want to encourage people. Homeownership is one of the biggest thing we can do to build wealth and to pass something on to the next generation, right? The white people do it. They pass on home to their kids. The Black family, typically we pass on debt, right? because we don't have the wealth. We need to change that.
I was having a conversation about life insurance just the other day, and that is definitely something that we need to, as a people, we need to focus on getting life insurance so you can pass on some generational wealth to your kids, and because we're always looking for a way to bury somebody. And it's a tough situation. I think we need to figure out ways. Stock market is one, but you could definitely get some life insurance. You could get you can also get life insurance on your kids.
Yeah.
You could get life insurance on your kids
As soon as
too.
the baby's born, I did it when my daughter was born, and then once they get older, you can, after they hit 18 or 19, you could transfer it over to them so they could continue it. Gerber.
So that's something that they could definitely call Reba for, and that's something that you can help.
we're happy to help out. I mean, and people know me from the community. I'm happy to help wherever I can.
How much does it cost?
What, insurance?
No, how much does it cost for Reba to help?
The Reba service is free.
Y'all heard that?
So
One more time. How much does it cost?
Free. The Reba services to the business community, the community. In the current state, Reba services is free. We want to empower our community through business and professional development, but we want to help family thrive, right? We want to help our community get out of where we're at. We got to do it together. So our services is free.
All you guys out there that have businesses but don't have a tax ID number,
We can help you.
Y'all need, and I know plenty of y'all.
We want to get you right, so when you do your taxes, it will be straight. When you try to get a house or you try to get a loan, you got all the ducks in a row, right? A lot of business owners could not apply for the PPP loan, the Paycheck Protection Loan from the government, because they pay in cash. And they didn't have their data as it relates to their payment history.
Yeah.
Barbershop, salon, we pay cash, right? We did it. I did it.
Yeah.
But I'm encouraging people, don't do what I did many, many years ago. Right now we want to help you. QuickBooks is pretty easy. Get your payroll online. Stop paying people in cash, because you're going to have a problem if you try to get loans, right? But again, there's a lot of resources out there. Start with the Rhode Island Black Business Association. Get involved with the organization. It's our organization, all of us, right? Reba belongs to all of us. We can come in, make it stronger. Just show up. Do your part. I'm doing my part. All of us together are going to make it stronger.
I've learned something about. I didn't even know about the Rhode Island Black Business Association. I really didn't.
Really?
Yeah. So
We've been around 10 years.
Yeah. That and I don't know. I just never heard of it. So now I know, and I'm definitely I'm gonna be calling. I need some ducks in a row. So before we leave, because I know that you have a lot of other engagements for tomorrow, I don't want to keep you up too late. What are some other things that you would like the audience to know out there?
So the other thing that I'm passionate about is women empowerment.
Okay.
I think black women currently, we only make 62 cents on the dollar of a white guy that makes $1.
Okay.
We make 62 cents. Black women, we want equal pay for equal work. If I'm supposed to get $1, why are you giving me 62 cents? Hello.
Mm-hmm. So
we need to show up at the State House when these bills are heard around pay equity. I don't know the number off the top of my head right now, but just figure it out. It's out there. Go to the Women's Fund of Rhode Island. They have all of that. Or you could go to the General Assembly. And we need to show up and be there to testify on pay equity. That is important. Black women right now in Rhode Island, we're making an average $34,000 to $37,000 a year. Come on. Let's be real. We know that our brothers and our husband and boyfriend are locked up in some cases, right? And the woman is the head of household right now. Until they're out and we're all back together as a big family, black women need to be paid more. And we need to use our voices to ensure that we're getting what we're worth.
Mm-hmm.
When we go when we go apply for jobs, don't settle for whatever they give you, right? A lot of times what we do, we're so happy to get a job. They said 70,000 or 60 or whatever it may be. We just said, okay. I encourage us to be empowered, When you show up for a job, you give them a range. I was just having the conversation with my daughter coming here. She's looking to think about exploring for a job. And I said, you got to show up with a range. If you want 90,000, ask for 130, between 120 and 150, because you know they're going to come in the middle somewhere. If you want 50, ask for 70, because you know they're going to come in the middle somewhere, right? So I said, I challenge us to think about, and I'm challenging myself, how do you find your wings? For me, education gave me my wings. Education gave me my wings, and my parents, and my brothers, I have 5 brothers, so they challenged me to be able to use my voice. When I was born, they told my mom that I would be a little person and I would never speak. Lucky did they know that I'm talking probably too much right now.
No, you're doing well. You're doing well. Good.
But again, people will say these things about you. You can't do this. You can't do that. I say Black women, we're powerful. We're amazing. We're beautiful. And we got all of it, right? The whole package. And we need to be compensated for our worth. And stop giving away your time. That's what I would encourage Black women to do. When somebody calls me and they want me to do something, not for my community, but other people, I'm like, yes, I can do that, but here's my rate, right? We got to put a value on the rate for the service that we're provided. Stop giving away your talent, put a price on it, and make sure if it's a side hustle, whatever it may be, get paid for what you're doing, right? We all know we got side hustles. I am a real estate professional, yes.
Somebody...
I've got my cosmetologist license. So, yeah, I'm on all kinds of side hustling going on.
Somebody just asked for you to explain to people about your event. You have an event happening soon?
An event? Is it the conference that we just had, the press conference that we just had?
I don't know. That was Archie Johnson who asked.
An event that's coming up? I don't know about an event, but we had a press conference last Thursday, and that press conference was really to engage the state of Rhode Island, the governor and her leadership team, for greater investment in Black businesses, right? That was a powerful...
We need that ASAP.
Yeah, but what we have done, and it's sad what's going on in Rhode Island, Black businesses, there's a 10% law that's been on the books since 1986. That says 10% of all money that's spent within the state government, contracts, whatever the state should go to, 10% should go to Black businesses or minority businesses.
Oh, that's on the books?
It's on the books since 1986. But what's really sad, we have never complied with that rule. No one...
Oh, I'm coming for my 10%, Gina.
So... what we have been doing is asking the governor to ensure that we move from 10% to at least 20%, but full disclosure, Rhode Island Black Business Association, we don't advocate for 10%. What we advocate for is access, because we want our businesses to be able to participate at the level they can. If you have 100%, why should we only get 10%?
Yeah.
So what we're doing is to scale our businesses, right, to ensure that those businesses are thriving so they can participate at the level they can. If it's 50%, we want to get 50%. If it's 100%, we want them to participate at that. But at least, at a minimum, the state should comply with their 10% law for now. We're advocating we need the community to show up and help us. We're advocating for a series of things. One, we're advocating for a waiver that the Department of Administration actually put in place that says minority business, the prime contractors don't need to hire minorities anymore. We need that to be eliminated, right? The administration need to eliminate that. In addition, we want to ensure that the set aside is increased from 10% to 20%. That's big. Okay. And we need the community to mobilize around it. We're also asking for greater investment in organization that's led by Black people. You heard what I said? Not white-led organization that support Black communities. We want greater investment in organization that is led by Black people.
I was just listening to a Malcolm X interview this morning, and that's something that he said. He said he doesn't trust a white person that runs a black business, because how would they know what we are up against?
Well, I mean, it's
That was
yeah,
his words, but
yeah.
basically, I'm not saying that the trust ain't there, but I'm saying, how would they know what we're going, what our problems are, what we go through day to day? They don't understand what we go through day to day.
Well, I
So,
can tell you, you're right. You're right about that. I can tell you, I am. I guess I'm radical. I was from Jamaica,
I
right?
hear you. I hear you.
So, if you read up about the history of Jamaica, so why the slaves got there and the ones that they were the unruly slaves. So the history of Jamaica, so those slaves that were the trade came from Ghana, right? The slave came from Ghana, and the slaves that were in Jamaica, they did not take orders and they did not listen. So the ones that weren't thrown overboard, they survived and they escaped in Jamaica. So we are a people from very radical people. I think I'm a progressive, meaning that I think, we need access and we need it like yesterday. We want equitable distribution of resources. We're impacted greater with COVID and the history of what's happened in slavery. Why I want monies to come into black-led organization, I look at the data. So, I mean, my background is technology, right?
Yeah.
So I look at data very much. So if you look at organization that's been getting all this money historically year over year, we still have a high rate of homelessness. We still have a high rate of unemployment. We still have a high rate of people in the street can't find jobs.
Yeah.
And they've been getting all this money for years. So let's flip it, right? And start investing in black-led organization. And I guarantee you, if black people start getting money, we're intentional. I can tell you that when businesses are doing well, they create more jobs than any other people, right? Small companies create 64% of new jobs.
Wow.
So with more investment, they're going to do well. I can tell you, I'm committed. For the last 10 years, I've been volunteer with the Rhode Island Black Business Association. You heard that, volunteer. I've never been paid by the organization. I'm the founding president. I started it with my own money. However, I have never received a dollar compensation for the service that I've been given for 10 years.
Wow.
Right? Because I care about this community. My goal is to create strong black businesses in Rhode Island so we can create jobs, we can invest, we can scale our communities so families can thrive. When families are doing well, it has a direct impact on children. They start doing better in school. Everything is better when
And
people
get that 6 hours up to like days,
Right?
maybe some months.
Oh yeah, we want at least to get up to at least 30 days. We want our money to stay within our community greater than 6 hours, right? So think about it. I am committed to this work. If I was not committed, I would not be volunteering for the last 10 years consistently, right? So I'm committed to this, and I'm asking the black community to support the Rhode Island Black Business Association. Come out if you have a talent that you can lend, whatever you can do to help us.
Is there social media for the Black Business Association?
We have we're on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and I think we
gotta
have
get y'all
something
on
out there
Instagram.
on Instagram as well, and YouTube. But we need more people. We have very few hands right now. We're looking for volunteers. If you're talented, we do. For me, I don't like to ask people to do free work. I think it's important for us to compensate people. However, we're a grassroots organization, so we can't pay for everything. But when we do have funding, we believe in paying people for what they're worth. But we got lots of volunteers. Show up. I promise you that we will put you to use. We'll leverage your skill set and your capabilities. And we want to help you, and you're going to help us. It's a two-way street, right?
Yeah.
You help us, we help you, and it's a win-win for all of us.
I definitely think that with some of the things that you're rallying for, are there petitions out there for those certain things?
Yeah, so we're actually, I've asked the web guy to upload it to the website. I don't know if it's up there yet. I sent it over to him this morning. So We have a series of demand. An email will be going out either today or tomorrow, or it should be posted on the website. I don't know if it's there yet. But there's a series of demands that we have that we've already shared with the governor. We need the community to mobilize around these things and to help us ensure that they become a reality. It's call to action right now. We need to get those things implemented, and I can tell you if they're implemented, we will have stronger Black businesses, we'll have stronger organization like REBA, like the Black Contractors Association and other Black groups that are out there that are lifting business up. And you all make sure that you support the Black Live Biz. Encourage Black business to sign up to it, share it on social media. It's an amazing platform. It's going to help us. But again, we got to help companies grow and scale so we keep our money in our community greater than 6 hours. I mean, why is it only 6 hours, right? The fact of the matter is we don't have enough businesses to provide all the things that we need currently. But
Yes.
we got to grow them, and we got to ensure businesses are starting up. And when they do start up, we got to support them. So don't get any attitude and says, oh, their price is too high or whatnot. Show up and spend your money with them. Because if you spend $1 out of every $10, we would reduce unemployment in our Black community significantly.
Wow.
If all of us make a commitment to spend out of each $10, $1 in our Black community, we can reduce unemployment in our community. It's on us. We got to do it. We got to fix it. Nobody, I've said this a lot of time, nobody's going to come and save us. We have to save ourselves because you know what, guys? We have the resources to do it. We got to just work smarter, and we got to work together, and we got to do it in unity. All of us, we're Black. We're in this together. We got to grow together. We got to scale together, and we just got to spread love. You know what they say in Jamaica, one love. Peace out. I love you guys.
We are out of here. I want to thank Miss Lisa Ranglin for coming on, and she actually put up with some of my BS because I had to change the time a couple of times, but she definitely made it, and it was a worthwhile talk. I appreciate every sentiment that you had on the show, and I'm sure everybody out there appreciates the information. I'll be posting some things that she has out there and a couple of things from Reba. So make sure that you check out my my information. And that's it. Let's talk. Just to let you know, we're gonna have Thursday Let's Talk because I'm doing it 2 times a week. So we're gonna have the young ladies, and when I tell you these ladies are smart, from Gen Z. And
I talk with them. I'm working with them as well.
are they some smart
They're
young ladies?
amazing. I met with them last night. Is that Sunday? Last night, Sunday?
Yes.
Yeah, I met with I met with them last night, and we're gonna be doing some stuff together. They're gonna be working with us on these demands that we have. They are amazing, amazing, amazing.
How old are they? Tell them how old they are.
I mean, these are
15.
young. 15. They're in high school. I mean, they are the leaders of today. You know, as I promised them, I'm standing with them. I'm supporting them. But they're on fire, and they have some amazing demand. I reviewed their platform yesterday, and we're going to do some stuff together. But it's amazing. I cannot wait to see these young people, right? They're going to meet with the governor coming up and other leaders across the state. So
Yeah, and
they're on fire.
Yeah, I'm definitely in full support of these young ladies, and they will be on Thursday to speak to y'all about the things that they're doing, and they have already done a lot. For 15 years old, one of the leaders, Jay Shell, she started her movement at 13. And she just blew my mind. Like, we had a conversation, and she blew my mind, and I'm in full support of them. So they will be on Thursday, and as you know, I'm gonna keep on bringing different people up here that you might not know. You probably didn't know that they did this type of work, and I'm just gonna introduce you to these people, and hopefully you will introduce the show to other people so they could see the people that they've missed or didn't know about. So I want to thank y'all for tuning in, everybody who did tune in, and I appreciate the love. And we'll be back Thursday with the girls from Gen Z, and I want to thank Miss Lisa Ranglin, again for
Thank you.
showing up, and
Thank you
I
for
will
having
definitely
me.
have her back for some more info and to refresh you on the things that Reba is doing, because I know there's some things she couldn't say. So we're gonna bring that back up. But thank you again, and have a good night. Stay safe.
Stay safe, guys. Peace out.